escribí, sí, pero no vas a contestar, me convencí.
Testing one. Welcome to a beautiful sunny Monroe, North Carolina for this USL 2 match between hosts FC Carolinas and visitors Charlotte Eagles. I'm your commentator, Mark Turner. Delighted to be with you today for this USL 2 clash between these North Carolina rivals. Give you a quick rundown of the starting 11s for the two teams. In goal for the home team, the Carolinas, is Quinn McCallion. Playing at left back is Eamon Moylan, number 4. At right back, Henrik Gunther, number 3. Your central defensive partnership this evening, number 5, Ivan Rubio. Number 6, Owen Marshall. In midfield for the Carolinas, number 16, Stephen Stone, and number 19, Bangli Cisse. Just ahead of them in your attacking 3, number 10, Montaga Sol, number 15, Gabriel Manoquin, and number 7, Sergio Baguena. And up top, lone striker, number 9, Brigham Larson. And for your visiting Charlotte Eagles, starting goalkeeper,
number 5, Alistair Dandron. Number 9, Matt McDonald. Number 10, Bernardo dos Santos Montero.
Number 30, Jarrett
Number
Riesling.
11, Oscar Carvello.
Your left back, number 18, Carlos Gallen. At right back, number 3, Bryce Swinehart. Your central defensive partnership this evening, number 5, Alistair Danjan. And number 4, Antonio Gomez. Flat three across midfield consists of number 15, Theo Drennan, number 11, Oscar Carballo, and number 12, Sammy Colby. And then your attacking 3 for the Charlotte Eagles, number 10, Bernardo dos Santos Monteiro on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side, number 23, Mawabisi Inquibesa. And going through the centre, number 9, Matt McDonald.
Number 19, Bengali Cisse. Number 7, Sergio Miguena. And number 9, Brigham Larson. Please rise and remove your hats as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
Okay, with the anthem concluded, players shaking hands and getting ready to take their positions on the field. We'll welcome you back to Monroe, North Carolina, as I mentioned. North Carolina derby this evening between your hosts, FC Carolinas, and the visiting Charlotte Eagles. As we can see, the two teams pretty evenly matched. Only one spot separates them in the league tables presently. You will notice, though, that the goal difference is starkly different. Eagles' goal difference looking far healthier by virtue of their goals for column, which is 10 goals better off than FC Carolinas, suggesting that Charlotte Eagles are going to bring the heat offensively this evening. We'll see if FC Carolinas can quell that heat and generate some offense of their own. These two teams separated by about 30 miles, with FC Carolina's Monroe base just outside of the city of Charlotte, where, of course, the Eagles are based. Beautiful evening here this evening in North Carolina. It's about 82, 83 degrees. Bright and sunny, as you can see. Long shadows already developing on the field, though, this being a 7 o'clock Eastern Time kickoff, suggesting that by second half, things could cool down quite significantly, at least temperature-wise. We hope the game is going to be hot and spicy throughout. Right, before we kick off, let's have a quick look at the league tables. We are going to talk a little bit about the North Carolina Fusion here in a moment too, as both teams have already played the Fusion. But like I said, a very tight table. Carolina's looking at the 3 points tonight to springboard them, well, to get them closer to second at least. As I mentioned earlier, the Eagles' superior goal difference will come into play, but nevertheless, Carolina's looking to close that gap point-wise to their local rivals. Game underway. Give an early break down the right-hand side. Cross flashes across the face of goal. I apologise. We're having a little bit of a technical glitch right now with the image. As soon as we get everything synced up, I'll be able to jump straight back on mic. Give you guys a clearer sense of what's going on. Match. No score early doors. Good goalkeeping. Playing almost a sweeper role, trying to get an attack going down the right-hand side. Apologies for that radio silence there, folks. A couple of technical issues we had to get resolved. But we are good to go now. We still have a little bit of a grainy image coming through on our monitors here, so I apologise if I'm not able to give credit to all the players as the ball makes its way around the field. We'll do our very best. But for right now, we're a little over 4 minutes into the game here in Monroe, North Carolina. Your hosts, FC Carolinas, attempting to build something down the right-hand side. Charlotte Eagles taking care of business in defence. Trying to circulate the ball from one side to the other. Not successfully on this occasion. Ball goes out of play, giving FC Carolinas a throw-in. Nicely collected. Ball springs away though. Good battling. Nice shielding from Charlotte Eagles defender. Space opening up now through the centre of the park. Charlotte Eagles looking to switch it to the left-hand side. Can they build something down this wing? Good return ball, but just gets caught under players' feet. FC Carolinas hunting in packs, trying to push the Eagles back. Good strong start from both teams. Looks like it's going to be a highly combative and equally matched game. We obviously saw the league table before kickoff, showing that these two teams are only separated by a single position right now. Charlotte Eagles having that narrow advantage in second place, tucked in behind North Carolina Fusion. FC Carolinas in third place. 17 points for the Eagles, 14 points for the Carolinas. The primary difference being that the Eagles have one more win than the Carolinas, and the Carolinas have one more defeat than the Eagles. So at the midway point of the season, it's fair to suggest these two teams do have pedigree, both of whom have actually played North Carolina Fusion as well. The Eagles have actually played Fusion twice now, so they won't need to meet the table toppers again this season. Oh, good ball over the top. Charlotte Eagles looking to break down the right-hand side. Might get a shot on goal. Excellent defending. Strong defending. Good use of the shoulder there. The FC Carolinas defender. The referee waves away protestations. Any suggestion that was a foul? He's not interested. Tells the players to get up and get on with it. Good last gasp defending from the Carolinas, though. It looked like an Eagle player was through on goal and getting ready to pull the trigger. Thought we might have our first shot on goal. Not yet. As I mentioned, the Eagles have already met the North Carolina Fusion, losing away 1-0. Excuse me, losing away... my apologies. Tying away at the Fusion. 2-2. And then losing narrowly at home to the Fusion, 4-3. Get to see that replay. Rapid attack down the right-hand side. But again, good defending. Don't know that the Carolina defender got very much of the ball. Can't exclusively take the man in that situation. That being said, if you do go shoulder to shoulder, you have to be strong enough to ride it out. And if you're not, well, it's at the referee's discretion as to whether that's a foul or not. But 9 times out of 10, an official is never going to call that. And indeed, that was the case here. FC Carolina against North Carolina Fusion. They lost 1-0 away. I was getting my numbers a little confused here. So not much to read in that. Both teams running the Fusion close, suggesting that these are the 3 best teams in the South Atlantic Division here in USL 2. So really the league is anyone's. The Eagles are actually on the same number of points as the Fusion, on 17 points. So it very much is a 3-way battle. And then there's daylight between the 3rd and 4th place. Good work here down the left-hand side from Carolina. So going to bend something into the back post. Gets deflected away. But it falls back to the Carolinas again. And now they're coming through the centre. Good patience in the build-up. Another shot driven up against the defender, giving the Eagles a chance to recover. But the Carolinas not giving them even any breathing space, pumping the ball back in. Requiring another Eagles clearance, giving the Carolinas a throw-in the process. good pressure from the Carolinas early doors, 9 minutes in. And with the exception of one Eagles break, arguably the Carolinas having the better of it so far in terms of possession and sights on goal, although they've not been able to turn that into shots on frame as of yet. Again, some good battling here from the two teams. Carolinas coming out with the ball on the left wing. Trying to, again, build patiently, but the Eagles pressing high and hard. Nice shielding. Trying to lay the ball off to a teammate. Didn't quite come off on this occasion. And again, I really do apologise to our viewers for me being unable to attribute much of the play to specific individuals. The feed that we have coming through here is incredibly grainy, which is making it almost impossible to see player numbers on jerseys unless players are stood completely still and their backs are facing us. But when they're on the move, it's a thankless task. Anyway, the Carolinas now breaking through on the left-hand side. Nice work through the middle, playing the ball out to the left. Again, trying to make something stick. Not able to get in behind the Eagles' defence right now. Everything just played a little bit flat from the Carolinas, so they are maintaining possession, so you have to give them marks for that. Nice ball into the box there. They're well defended by the Eagles. Carolina, they're picking up on that loose ball out. Another shot blocked. I think we're on number 3 or number 4 right now for a Carolina shot. Blocked by a courageous Eagle defender. The Eagles now looking to break on the counter-attack. Referee deciding there was an infringement, and I should say so. It looked like the Eagles player was carrying the Carolinas player down the field on his back there for a moment. So good early pressure from the hosts. The Eagles, though, defending stoutly. Now, on a couple of occasions, they've shown they can break and be dangerous themselves. This isn't the commentator's curse, but this certainly seemed like a game with goals in it. Good work from the Eagles. Laying the ball into the middle of the park. Now looking to cut back. There's another teammate. Ball does make its way out to the left wing. Looking to deliver across, deciding otherwise. Sliding it back inside again. Good work, opening up the space. Might see a shot forthcoming here. We do. But that's directly at McCallion. The Carolinas' goal. Good work from the Eagles, though. Looked initially to try and play the ball out to the left wing. Decided to instead drop it back. Played it around in the middle of the park. Trying to stretch the Carolinas' defence. Pull them out of shape. And once the space is opened up, that created an opportunity for a shot. But again, straight at McCallion, and gratefully smothered the ball into his stomach. Shot goes over the top. McCallion not troubled. The Eagles now, though, showing that they do have pace on the counter. This is 3 times we've seen them get in behind the Carolinas' defence. Well, 2 clear sights on goal. The other one didn't make it that far, but clearly they can spring something from deep and turn a moment of defence into a dangerous offensive situation. Excellent shot from the Carolinas in the near post. Good goalkeeping from Werslin in the Eagles' net. Wasn't expecting a shot there myself. As the ball came down the left wing, I was expecting it to play across the centre of the goal, made for teammates arriving late, and instead, I'm assuming that was a shot from Dos Santos Monterio. From Baguena. For Carolinas, given that he's playing on the left-hand side. So hopefully I've been able to attribute that shot to the right player, but either way, he surprised me cutting inside. Didn't surprise wrestling, or at least if he did, it wasn't enough to get the ball by him. Eagles goalkeeper on his toes and able to collect that shot. It's the Eagles now trying to create something again, coming down that left-hand side of the field where they've had joy on a couple of occasions. There's a little bit of a high bounce there in the build-up, making it tricky. These turf fields can be. We're going to see that one again here. Again, I was expecting the ball to come into the centre. Instead, really good snapshot to the front post. Recently had to drop quickly and get strong hand on that, and he did both. Into the 15th minute here. Still scoreless between these North Carolina rivals. We've seen opportunities for both teams so far, though. This has been a game with a fast start. Lovely ball through the centre of the park, but it's just going to roll on a little too far. Whistling alive to it, gathers it up and bowls it out. If either team could win this evening, it really would put them in a strong position. The Eagles, as I mentioned earlier, already have a 3-point lead on FC Carolinas. That would further extend their lead and actually see them springboard over the Fusion. The Fusion do play this evening as well, though. So obviously if they were to secure a win, they would stay top of the table. But the Eagles have to have in mind there's an opportunity here to go top of the tree if the Fusion either lose or draw this evening. And for FC Carolina, they have to be imagining if they can beat the Eagles, although it won't take them above the Eagles because of goal difference, it'll put them level on points, and they still have the Fusion left to play. So despite the fact they're in third place right now, it's so tight up there. A victory tonight could really position FC Carolina as well to go on and certainly secure a playoff spot, maybe even secure the top spot. Now that I've said that, this is probably a game that has draw written all over it, but as long as it's not a scoreless draw, I won't be too unhappy. Nice work from Carolinas in the central midfield. Good movement as well. So the ball has gone out of play. That's a shame. Some great building at the centre of the park, and again, movement off the ball. And that's one thing you do tend to see in USL too, with it being a pre-professional league. A lot of young players in here looking to make their way in the game. Obviously make their way up to the professional ranks if possible. And so you'll see typically young guys, young legs, young lungs, and lots of running. Tactical nous and technique as well, undoubtedly, but high octane. Lots and lots of energy at this level, given how young these players are. And that always makes for an exciting spectacle. Every player out here looking to catch the eye of a USL 1 team or a USL Championship team, or perhaps even one of the MLS teams, maybe their academy outfit. Every player looking at that next run, that next opportunity. Great ball through the heart of the Carolinas defence. Can the Eagles turn inside and get a shot off? They can't. Some very smart defending from the Carolinas there, who initially got caught flat-footed as that ball was pinged through the heart of the defence, looking like it might lead to an Eagles shot, but good recovery from the Carolinas, who themselves now on the attack till the Eagles break it down. Both teams eager to get up the field as quickly as possible. It's been a breakneck start so far. mentioned at the start of the broadcast that the Eagles have a superior goal difference to Carolinas, in large part due to their goals for column. They're 10 goals better off after 8 games than the Carolinas. And seeing how quick their offense is and how quickly they're able to spring for something, you can certainly see why Charlotte Eagles look very, very dangerous on the counter in particular. Carolinas look no slouches, though. They themselves have had sights on goal. But the league table suggests that the Charlotte Eagles have a more potent attack. So we'll see if that clicks again this evening. Good work here again for the Eagles. Good pace as well. Can we get a shot on goal? Nice cutback. Looks to find a teammate. And we have a goal! Fantastic goal for the Eagles. Number 23, Equalize, sets up Carvalho. Good patient work from those gentlemen in tight spots. Both of them marked up tight. Both of them asked to move the ball around and be patient. Great footwork here from Carvalho. Inquibesa tucks it back inside. Nice control. And as calm as you like with the finish. Essentially an instep pass across McKillian in Carolina's goal and into the back of the net. 1-0 Charlotte Eagles. I will say, in terms of trying to work out whose numbers are whose, it is a lot easier to see the numbers on the back of the Eagle jerseys than it is the Carolinas jerseys. So, though I have absolutely no dog in the fight, and I'm happy to see either team score, whenever the Eagles do something notable, it is a little easier to determine who it was that was involved. On that occasion, though, no mistaking, Carvalho breaking from central midfield. He and Inquibesa connecting beautifully down the right-hand side. Again, both players under pressure, doing a great job of manipulating the ball in tight spaces. Great movement off the ball as well, particularly from Inquibesa. As Carvalho twisted and turned, made the ball back to him, and then gratefully received the pass as it came back into the box. Fantastic finish. 1-0 to the visitors. See Carolina's immediately on the front foot, pressing, trying to find an opportunity of their own. It clips the referee there on the way through. Going to get another look at the goal here. Inquibesa, who actually carried the ball up. Carvalho twisting and turning, finds Inquibesa, who does a beautiful job actually chipping the ball back. I mean, calmness personified from both of those players. Inquibesa in that situation could have just drilled the ball across the face of goal and hope for the best. Instead, a deft dink found its way into Carvalho, who was then able to cushion the ball before side-footing it home. Some real quality from the Charlotte Eagles. Eagles with a free kick. So I've said plenty about this tight league table Now we have three teams essentially jockeying top spot and for the two playoff positions. If you actually look at the form of the Carolinas and the Eagles over the last 5 games, it's it's noticeably very, very similar. In fact, over the last 5 games, they've registered the same amount of points. Slightly different sequence. In doing that, the Carolinas with a win, loss, win, draw, loss. Win, loss, win, draw, win. So WLWDW. And then the Eagles in the corner here. We're going to watch this ball come in. Good header. Very nicely collected by McKillian. Didn't panic in that situation. Just gathered it up. Good header on goal, though. And the Eagles, last 5 games, loss, win-win, draw, win. So again, 3 wins at the last 5 games, a defeat and a tie for both teams. Really not much to separate them. Not much to separate them there either. With the Eagles players scrambling to get back. Hands all over his Carolina counterpart. The referee deciding free kick in the favour of the home team. This free kick, a similar distance to the one we just saw the Eagles dispatch a couple of minutes ago. Let's see what FC Carolinas can do with their opportunity to drop the ball into the box. It does find its... Oh, goodness gracious. It did find its way into the heart of the Eagles' defence. And for a second there, I thought one of the Carolinas strikers might be able to get on it. He missed it. And not only that, but the Eagles' defender missed it too. And that could have been very hairy indeed. Fortunately for the Eagles, their defence were able to respond the quickest, gathering up and clearing the ball in the process. Carolinas now coming down the left-hand side. Very little support. Only one man in the box. Will he find him? He doesn't. Actually, we had another arriving in the back post too. But the Carolinas winger unable to pick out either teammate. One in the centre of the goal and then one crashing the back post. Neither were found. Already starting to see a very distinct pattern in this game. Just 26 minutes and change in. FC Carolinas dominating the possession. Making good headway down the wings, particularly down their left wing. The Charlotte Eagles, though, by and large, absorbing that pressure well and then springing quick counters. And here's another one now. The Charlotte Eagles coming down the left, coming through the centre and then down the middle, and it's a shot. And Cabeza, Killian gathering that up without any issue. But again, another great example of the Charlotte Eagles initially breaking down the left, transferring the ball to the middle of the park, then out to the right. And Cabeza, who is rapid, spinning away from his defender, creating just enough space for a shot. Not enough power, though, to beat Killian on this occasion. But that is the pattern of the match, folks. FC Carolina is dominating possession, probing, stretching the Eagles, trying to find spacing down the channels, and then the Eagles absorbing it, at least so far, and springing very dangerously on the counter-attack. Fascinating match so far. Great footwork in the middle of the park. FC Carolina now looking to transition the ball out to the right, maybe deliver a cross into the box, something. Instead, they slide the ball further down the right wing. Ball does eventually come into the box. It's the crossbar! That's the closest FC Carolinas have come to scoring. And it was awfully close indeed. What a beautifully worked opportunity. We'll circle back to that in a moment. Ball down the right wing. Great patience, hitting the overlapping fullback. Great cross into the box. First time shot, and I apologise, I can't see who from. All I can tell you for sure is that Wearsland would not have gotten hold of that as it rattled the crossbar. Had it dropped an inch lower, we'd have a tied up game. FC Carolinas coming awfully close in the 29th minute. Free kick cleared out from the Eagles. Finds its way back to Carolinas, though. I noticed on the Carolinas website They use the abbreviation FCC, which immediately makes me think of FC Cincinnati, but they obviously don't have a monopoly on those initials. So in the interest of saving time, I might start calling the Carolinas FCC. Is that easier than saying Carolinas? Not sure. Maybe I'll interchange the two. It's confusing when you have two teams from a state called North Carolina and only one of them has Carolina in its name. It makes you feel like you're talking about one team from Carolina and another team from somewhere else entirely. These two teams are only separated by about 30 miles, centered around the city of Charlotte. And as close as they are in geography, they are equally close in the league table. Two high-quality teams, giving us a highly entertaining match so far. And I think we're going to have a water break here at the half-an-hour mark. That'll give me an opportunity to get a quick swig of water as well. The last thing you want is a dry-mouthed commentator. And I shall ruminate some more on whether I'm going to call FC Carolinas, or just FCC. So we rejoin the game. Both teams back out on the field. And we've got some fluids on board. Probably some instructions from their respective coaches as well. SEC coached by Dave Dixon. The Charlotte Eagles by Mike Hovach. Eagles looking to try and build something down the left-hand side. Plenty of numbers in the middle if the ball can be delivered into the box. Good defending though, stout defending. Good play out to the right wing. Again, Eagles getting up in good numbers. Nothing really opening up though. Ball makes its way back into the middle. Nice drop of the shoulders. Feeding the ball now out to the left wing. Good step over. Not able to cut the ball back. FC Carolina is doing a good job of defending as a unit. Not giving the Eagles too much space right now. Although the Eagles are doing a nice job of finding their options. Maintaining possession high up the field. Nice footwork. Using the bottom of the foot just to roll the ball across the body. Let's say for a USL 2 league game, really high quality here. Excellent technical ability on display. Personally, I'm more familiar with the USL Championship, having covered the switchbacks and supported the switchbacks in Colorado Springs for many years. Well, since their inception, actually, in 2015. Also done a little work as well at MLS level. And I'm not suggesting for a moment that this is MLS level, but the green shoots here are encouraging. The players out here can really handle the ball well under pressure, which is particularly impressive. Great ball out to the left wing. Now can Carolinas get some bodies in the box? That's the only disappointing thing. They're unable to take advantage of a pass like that, but that's a good finish! Out of nowhere! What a great finish from FC Carolinas. I was bemoaning the fact they weren't getting numbers up to support the cross. They didn't really need numbers. They found a way to get to goal anyway. Brigham Larson here shaking off his marker, and the man coming in to shut him down, sliding the ball beautifully. Past McCallion. Excuse me, past Worsland. FC Carolinas tying up the game. Really nice finish from Larson. Goal really seemed to come out of nowhere. Fantastic through ball finding the left winger, and I thought for a moment he was going to be on his own waiting for teammates to show up. Only had Larson in support. Somehow they were able to move the ball around, create just enough space for Larson to get that shot off. To be fair, Larson did most of that work himself, shaking off his marker and then dispatching the ball quickly before the covering defender could block anything. I think perhaps the speed with which he bent that ball into the back post even caught Worsland out. And we have a tied game. Eagles now looking to break down the right-hand side. And Quibesa trying to deliver into the box. Good defending from the Carolinas. Carolina is defending stoutly. Nice footwork out on the right-hand side. Good ball into the box. Well collected by McCallion. Good safe hands from the Carolinas goalkeeper. He's looked very calm and composed so far. The Eagles will certainly get your pulse racing when they're in and around your area. Very, very quick. And forwards as well, who are very quick at shifting their weight and changing direction. As a goalkeeper, you have to stay on your toes. You're never sure whether a shot's going to come in from out wide or whether it's going to be a cross that you're going to have to either try and take out the air or position yourself for something that might hit the center of your box. McCallion, though, good positioning so far, good hands. Like I said, very composed between the pipes for FC Carolinas. Great breakaway here from FC Carolinas. Worstling found himself out of the net there for a moment in no man's land. FC Carolina's not able to take advantage. Great tackle, though, winning the ball back. Charlotte Eagles patiently looking to build out of the back. Good footwork, but he might get caught out here, and the referee going to intervene? Yes, he does. Nice high press from FC Carolinas. They're just a little too excitable there. Referee deciding that ball needed to come back. Carolinas trying to move the ball out of defence, draw out the Eagles and create some space in behind them. Good patient work, nice turn as well in the centre of midfield. Everything's opening up now ahead of them. Again, they don't have much in the way of numbers, but as they showed in their earlier goal, they don't necessarily need them. Good ball out to the left wing, not able to deliver the cross though. Good defending from the Eagles, who now are going to try and spring something on the counter, as has been their trademark this entire game. Carolina's not going to let them on this occasion, though. Excellent turnover play, very high up, and now they do have numbers. And rather sloppily give the ball away. They actually had 5 players in the attacking third there. Their challenge has been getting numbers up into the box. They've been breaking in onesies and twosies. And on that occasion, they actually won the ball very high up, meaning they had 5 players in support of that attack. Didn't make the most of it. Lovely ball out there, though, to the left wing. And this is what we've seen from the Carolinas. Those long angle balls out into the wings, but we need the delivery to match. Good recovery, looking to tuck the ball into the middle. It got deflected out, I think. Got deflected off the striker. Smart work from the Eagles defender there, winning them a goal kick in the process. But this, again, has been a trademark of what we've seen so far. FC Carolina's pinging those long balls out to the channels. They did struggle in the first 10, 15 minutes to get in behind the Eagles' defence, but they've been doing it relatively routinely for the last 10 or 15 minutes. It's then getting the ball from the wing into the box with any degree of quality that's been their challenge. As I mentioned earlier, Brigham Larson made the absolute most of the chance that came his way, notching the Carolinas' only goal of the game so far. But generally speaking, if the Carolinas are going to draw that ball over the top, their coach is going to hope to see quality then delivered into the box. And they're going to need numbers arriving to make the most of those deliveries. The Eagles have had a similar problem. Again, they found good space out wide. They've tended to play the ball back into the middle, as they're doing so here as well. Might get another shot on frame here. Great defending. No real shout for a penalty there. It looked like a very clean tackle. Always a little nervous when a player goes to ground, and now the Carolinas looking to spring on the counter-attack. Good hit. Goes wide. Goal kick. It's breathless stuff here in Monroe, North Carolina. Take a moment to try and analyse what one team is doing on offence, and you're in the midst of that, and the other team has sprung down the other end, causing you to turn your attention. It's end-to-end stuff. Absolutely fantastic. Two teams very evenly matched on the field and on the scoreboard. Nice work from Larson. Playing as a sole forward for the Carolinas and does a really nice job of it. Such a good hold-up man. As we saw with his goal as well. Not able just to hold the ball up. Able to dispatch it as well. Notching the Carolinas' only goal so far. Strong presence on the front line though for FC Carolinas. FC Carolinas now looking to spring an attack of their own. Again, ball gets played out to the left wing, which has been a very common pattern for them. Looking for the give and go. Not able to get the execution quite right there. There's definitely a challenge that the Eagles might want to address the second half. Is Carolina's coming down the left wing, and here's a great ball through the centre in midfield. Asks a little too much of the Eagles attacker though. Carolina's able to recover.
No, sir.
That ball down the left wing for FC Carolinas. It's definitely been a challenge for the Eagles. And it's where their goal came from. Larson ultimately dispatching the equaliser on the 35th minute after Carvalho. Giving the Eagles a go-ahead goal on the 21st minute. Again, highly entertaining first half. Game that could really swing either way. I mentioned earlier that it had a draw written all over it. They're currently tied up, but either team more than capable of getting themselves a winner. And I'm going to change my earlier prediction of sorts. Go away from suggesting this game could be a tie and instead suggest we are going to see a winner. I'm not brave enough to say which team it might be. But we've had so much drama at either end so far. I have a feeling one of these teams is going to come out on top. Would it be the home team, FC Carolinas, who have dominated possession? Or the dangerous Charlotte Eagles, who've looked threatening on just about every counter-attack they've been able to create? Eagles once more on the breakaway here. Filtering the ball out to the left wing. Numbers arriving in the box. It's not going to find any of them. Again, gratefully collected by McCallion. We're heading to the 49th minute. In stoppage here. Playing time now at the referee's discretion. Until the whistle goes. Confirming that we do have a tied up game at half. FC Carolinas 1, Charlotte Eagles 1. Very entertaining first half. Very evenly matched. More the same we hope to look forward to in the second half. Look forward to revisiting the game with you then.
Tickle My Ribs, Snap Fitness, and Novant Health for the support of our team. Our kit sponsor is Water.
between them on the league table. Eagles currently sitting on 17 points, FCC on 14. So this game has a lot in the balance. Both teams anxious for the W. It's going to be FCC to kick us off. As we rejoin the match, what we hope will be an equally entertaining second 45 minutes. Long ball over the top from FCC. Looking to try and stretch the Eagles in the first few seconds of the game. Second half of the game. FCC have earned themselves a throw-in. Working the ball nicely around the top of the Eagles' box. Could have been a foul there. Referee decides to go play on. And ultimately the cross into the box. Not the quality you'd want, but good work in the build-up from SCC. I got some insight from our production team at half-time that the club does go by FCC, so I want to respect that, give them the proper shout-out. Probably also make my life a little easier as well. FCC trips very nicely off the tongue. But evidently here in Monroe, whether it's at the youth level or their USL W team or their USL 2 team that we're seeing here today, commonly referred to as FCC. So FCC it is. And they're in possession right now. Doing a good job of absorbing that Eagles attack. They can try and create something for themselves now out of the back, having to go all the way back to McKillian for the time being. He feeds the ball out the left-hand side. The Eagles now in possession in defence. You have a player down on the far side. I think it's an FCC player. Don't know if there's some kind of collision there or if the player went down off the ball. Oftentimes those are the worst of the two. But whatever caused them to go down, I hope it's not serious and they can continue here in just a minute. Both teams with deep, strong benches. FCC with 6 players they can call on today. Eagles actually travelled with 7. But either way, plenty of coverage should either team need it. Looks like perhaps FCC are going to do a substitution, which I'm sure wasn't planned this early into the half, just 3.5 minutes in. But they're back to full strength. Eagles returning the ball to FCC, very charitably. Good sportsmanship there. And off we go again. Referee giving a free kick in favour of FCC. Good strength in midfield. I have to say, both teams do a really good job of shielding the ball. Really demanding that their marker try and outmuscle them. In a few instances they've been able to, but more often than not they draw fouls. It just goes to show the strength of these players. Nice ball, laid back to the left-hand side. The shot was deflected. I'm not sure if that's a corner or a goal kick. I think perhaps it's a corner. It looked like it caught a Charlotte defender on the way out. It may actually be a throw-in. Ball spun off in a rather strange angle. Oh, improvisation, nice flick with the heel. Trying to catch the Eagles' defence off guard. Didn't come to anything, but you have to at least applaud the improvisation there. Sometimes you do get a little bit of a high bounce on these turf surfaces. The ball does seem to spring a little more than it would do on regular grass. And so on occasion you do have to improvise, to come up with something a little bit different. Good work from the Eagles down the right hand side. Got a 2-on-1 situation though. He's going to take a lot to get into the box, and he does, and he gets bundled to the floor, and he's asking for something. The linesman doesn't raise a flag, and the referee doesn't seem interested. I'd like to see that one again. It looked like there was enough contact there to at least certainly ask questions. The referee very quickly decided no infringement. Game continues. And so it's FCC now breaking down their right-hand side. Good swerve of the body. Oh, looking to cut back across their marker, but Eagles defence are wise to it. I thought for a second there the referee might give a free kick there. He's decided not to. Take another look at this one. Well, there was definitely contact. Oh, the referee has given a free kick. Very good. Equally, it's a little difficult to determine which way the referee is pointing. Sometimes they're positioned at such an angle it's not immediately obvious which way their arm is facing. And I was expecting a whistle there. There certainly was contact. And ultimately, I think the referee made the right decision. Nice work from FCC, just tidying up at the back. Looking again to cycle the ball out into the wings. Playing the ball through midfield. Lovely 1-2. This ball will surely find its way out to the left wing. It does. Now, for the delivery, 3 players in the box. Shot blocked though. And then over, you have to wonder whether or not laying the ball to a teammate might have been a better option there. Instead, FCC went for the shot. Eagles defenders equal to it. I mentioned earlier, in my preparation for this game, I visited the FC Carolinas website. Wanted to learn a little bit more about the club. In addition to finding out that they like to go by FCC, they also had some really interesting information up there about how they like to approach the game as a team from youth through to this pre-professional level here at USL 2. Certainly their mantra is controlling the ball, being comfortable on it. And then when they lose it, press the opposition to get it back as quickly as possible and as high up the field as possible. And we have seen evidence of that from FCC today. That's, well, contact in the back again. I thought perhaps that's a free kick. I'm not quite sure why the FCC player would have gone down otherwise, but the referee again decides nothing in it. The referee certainly is allowing these two teams to be physical, which you do like to see. Nice work from the Eagles, and they win the ball back high up, but FCC having a mop up quickly. They do so rather frenetically. Eagles turn to press high now. But I would say that the FCC players have shown great composure on the ball, great comfort with it. If that truly is the club mantra, then the coaches are doing a great job of transferring that to the players. Again, good work here on the ball. FCC drilling through the middle of the field, now playing the ball out to the left-hand side. Got numbers up. 5 players in support of this attack. Oh, excellent work there. Hitting a 1-2 going. Can't quite get the ball into the middle of the box when FCC striker was wide open, ready for the tap in. Good build-up though. Really good patient build-up with a lovely 1-2 down the left wing. And FCC broke in behind the Eagles defense, looking for that cutback to the center of the box, where a striker stood waiting. Would have certainly been the simplest of tap-ins. Ball couldn't quite make its way through. Eagles breathe a sigh of relief, but FCC have started this second half hot. 10 minutes into it, and they certainly have been the better of the two teams so far in this second period. As I mentioned in the first half, the Eagles have the superior offensive numbers, actually outscoring FCC by 10 goals in the first 8 games. And we have seen them be threatening, but I think on balance, FCC have looked the more dangerous of the two teams, and have certainly started this second half more effectively. Some conversation going on the sideline. I think between Dave Dixon, the FCC coach, and one of his players. Wisdom shared, and the game will continue. You do like to see that. Again, this is a pre-professional league, USL 2. These players are here to learn, to get better, and to develop on their path, they would hope, to full pro. So when you have seasoned coaches pointing things out to you, particularly during the game, that's a great opportunity to learn and develop and implement immediately what it is that you've been shown or taught. So I absolutely love to see Coach Dixon and his team doing that. It's surely a free kick there. Yeah, FCC coming through the back. One of the Eagles midfielders. I mentioned the referee has allowed the game to go pretty physical, and that's always good to see, but there's a line. And you cross it, you're going to hear a whistle. The referee has let plenty go today, but that one, well, it was pretty straightforward, particularly when you're only positioned 5 or 6 yards away. Good clearance from McKillian. The Eagles have got numbers, but not much happening in the way of movement right now. Everything just a little bit static. We have the man on the ball. Look at the movement off of it. He does find an open man on the left-hand side, though. Great defending from FCC. And the Eagles just looking a little flat-footed right now. In the first half, when they broke on the counter, they broke with real dynamism. Their movement was exceptional. You think about their goal. It's a great case in point. This second half, again, just looking a little flat-footed. The player with the ball not having much in the way of options. Players not really spinning off their man and creating space. You'd imagine Coach Kovac will be getting in their ear and asking them to get a little more on their toes. They're going to have to match the energy that FCC have started this second half with. So edging up on the hour mark, I think we have a player down right now, requiring a little attention from the coaches or physios. Giving the rest of the players a little respite, an opportunity to get their breath back, but not much of an opportunity. We're back underway. Eagles back in possession. Nice tackle from FCC. Again, they have looked so strong this second half so far, both on and off the ball. Off the ball, they've worked so hard to win it back and to press the Eagles as high as possible. On the ball, they're stretching the Eagles every which way. With runners out left and out right. Nice control from FCC, working his way through three players. Can he cut the ball back for a teammate? He can! But well collected by Worsland. That was very reminiscent of the opportunity FCC created down the left-hand side about 5 minutes earlier. Well, now the Eagles looking to break. Nice through ball over the crossbar, though. It was one that the Eagles decided to take first time as McCallion slid out. That really could have gone anywhere. Lovely ball through the heart of the FCC defence, taking out 4 defenders in the process. Not able to get the shot on frame. And actually, it looked like maybe McCallion got something on it. No, referee decided otherwise. I thought for a second the FCC goalkeeper had made contact with the ball, perhaps resulting in an Eagles corner. But that FCC move just a few moments earlier down the right-hand side, very reminiscent of the one they created 5 or 6 minutes earlier down the left-hand side, where they're able to get in behind the Eagles' defence, looking to square the ball into the middle of the box for a tap-in. Unfortunately for them, on both occasions, that final ball just not making it to its man. But once again, FCC pulling the Eagles about, creating opportunities down the left and right-hand channels, with willing runners waiting in the middle of the box. But despite all of that, and despite all of their early dominance in terms of possession, that was a stark warning from the Eagles that they're still in this game, and they themselves can create dangerous opportunities at any given moment. The game still very much in the balance between these North Carolina rivals. FCC carving a path through the middle of the Eagles defense, but well collected by the Eagles, who now again look to spring on the counter. Don't have numbers, but they do have pace and creativity. Now they do have bodies up as well, coming to support the attack. But as quickly as they get into attack, FCC get back into defense. This is quite the cat and mouse game. Can't take your eyes off it for a second. Eagle striker goes down. Not much in the way of protestation. Waves his hand. Asks if there was something in that. The officials decided not very much. Let's get on with the game. Again, this referee really allowing the game to flow pretty much, and for those instances of physicality to go largely uncalled. This is made for a really good contest, actually. You know, sometimes you get officials that are just a little too whistle happy and the game doesn't flow. It certainly hasn't been the case today. So this game is the first in a series of 3 home matches for FCC. After the Eagles this evening, they have Wake FC coming to town, followed by current table toppers NC Fusion. So if FCC could get the W this evening, the game against FC Fusion on July the 1st could be very important indeed. FCC now breaking through midfield, playing the ball out to the right-hand side. Numbers crashing the box, but that's not going to find any of them. It's uncharacteristically poor quality from FCC. Charlotte Eagles also have a stretch of 3 home games themselves after tonight's road visit to Monroe. Great work from FCC, good interception, lovely flick on from the header. Now they could catch the Eagles on the counter. Wonderful defending from the Eagles. Looked like FCC had the upper hand there. The Eagles recovered very, very quickly. After this road trip, the Charlotte Eagles welcome West Virginia United to Charlotte, followed by Wake FC. He would have played FCC the week before. And then guess who they welcome to Charlotte? Yep, FCC. So the next 3 or 4 weeks are going to be very spicy indeed in the South Atlantic Division, as things really begin to take shape among the top 3 teams. Into the 68th minute, still tied up, 1 apiece. Opening goal from Carballo for Charlotte Eagles. The equaliser on the 35th minute from Brigham Larson. FCC, nice ball into the box, goes all the way through. Defence! Oh, and that's a good stop. Lovely snapshot from, I think it was Carballo, the goal scorer for the Eagles. But McCallion, who I mentioned in the first half, I've been very impressed with, very composed, drops very, very quickly, good hands. Definitely a goalkeeper you can trust in the back for FCC. Makes no mistake there. That was an odd one as the throw just found its way through the box, unmolested, bouncing at the back post. Carballo responded to it quickest, shaking off his marker. He didn't get everything he wanted on the shot in terms of strength, but got it on frame. It was down toward the corner. I don't imagine McCallion saw it until quite late, but he was every bit equal to it. So the Eagles now starting to get a little traction. They've been under the cosh for most of this half, but they're starting to make their way up the field now. Perhaps FCC is starting to tire a little bit. They certainly have exerted themselves in this second half. You can tell the home team are desperate to get a home W. Oh, and the ball is deflected. Oh, fortuitously. It's one of the FCC forwards. I think he was as surprised by it as I was. Wasn't able to gather in and make anything of it. The Eagles able to clear, but FCC back in possession. Yeah, the Eagles are really struggling to find their rhythm in this second half. You have to imagine that's largely down to how high and how hard FCC have pressed them since the restart. You also wonder if they're doing something different, or if they themselves perhaps run out of steam. They worked extremely hard in the first half, particularly on the counter-attack. They got numbers up very, very quickly. Pretty routinely as well, and you wonder if maybe that took something out of them. Either way, the balance of the game has definitely been in the favour of FCC. Although, as I mentioned, the Eagles starting to find their way back into the match. Charlotte Eagles are a strong and proud outfit of their own. We talked a little bit about how FCC is structured, their mantra as an organisation, the fact they have both a youth system and a USLW team. The Eagles are very well established in this part of North Carolina too. I'm just going to pause for a moment as FCC look to build down the left-hand side, trying to get an opportunity, weaving their way through Eagles defenders. So one of them is able to get a foot in. Oh, nice improvisation there from the Eagles. Getting their way out of the press. The clumsy tackle. And then a quick free kick. Yeah, the Charlotte Eagles were established in 1991, so they're into their 32nd year here in Charlotte, a well-established club. And a club that's always done pretty well. Last year, came third in the division, so just narrowly missing out one of those top two playoff spots. Oh, excellent work from FCC. Their numbers over now, and they have a goal to take the lead. Wonderful work of the build-up. And we've seen evidence of that over the last 10 minutes or so. FCC players getting hold of the ball and really taking responsibility for it, looking to slalom through 1, 2, 3 players. And here we see another example of it, taking out a man there and another there, setting out for a teammate, Sergio Baguena, to slot that ball home and give FCC what it'd be hard to argue is a deserved lead. From 1-0 down to 2-1 up, FCC lead Charlotte Eagles. I mentioned earlier that the mantra for this club, for this FCC club, is control the ball, be comfortable on it. It's all about composure. It's all about being settled with the ball, getting your head up, making good choices, taking responsibility, being courageous. And we've seen that in abundance in this second half. And that wasn't the first time we'd seen FCC attackers take the ball on and decide to take on not one or two, on some occasions, 3 Eagles defenders. Really try and draw players and create space and opportunity for their teammates. Hadn't come off for them until now, but boy, when it did it pay dividends. Wonderful work to get the ball to Baguena. And when he found himself in space out on the left-hand side, he made no mistake, slotting the ball past Worsland in the Eagles' goal. As I've mentioned several times during this broadcast, the Eagles have been strongest in offense, outshooting FCC by some significant margin this year. So you know they definitely have ammo in the cannon. But so far, FCC managed to restrict them to just a single goal and have scored 2 quite wonderful goals of their own. As I mentioned, a win this evening wouldn't change the position of the table, but it would put FCC on 17 points alongside the Eagles, essentially in joint second, although trailing them on goal difference. But more importantly, it would mean that we have 3 teams in the South Atlantic Division, all on 17 points. North Carolina Fusion and the 2 teams we have here today. Like I said, the next 3 or 4 games then become supremely important. Great to see this much quality in North Carolina. 3 teams that clearly have their game about them. And a squad of talented players. So with 15 minutes to go, how is this exciting story going to end this evening? Are FCC going to hold on? Might they tighten the screw a little further with a 3rd goal? Can the Eagles find their way back into this match? We know they can. We know they're more than capable of it. Sit back and enjoy the ride, folks. Eagles now breaking down the right wing, tucking the ball inside. FCC defending stoutly. This is our second half water break.
Let's go. Not that hot.
Obviously not quite as hot here now as it was at the beginning of the game. We had a 7 o'clock kickoff in the evening. Even at 7 o'clock it was still 80, 83, 84, 85 degrees. Now, mercifully, with the sun on its way down, we're still in the high 70s. Our production team giving us an opportunity to see these goals back. The opener from Caballo, 21 minutes for the Eagles. Really good work between him and Inquibesa. And though we saw opportunities at both ends, it was FCC who would knock next. Some great work from Larson, then holding off his man and the covering man. Catching out Worsland in the process. Good work from the young man there to even the game up. And then look at this as a case study for responsibility. Yep, I'm going to beat you, and I'm going to drive at the defence, and I'm going to set a teammate up, and it's as simple as that. It really isn't as simple as that, but they made it look simple there. FCC have come out with a bit between their teeth this second half, there's no doubt about that. And they've shown more offensively. Possession stats looked great in the first half. They weren't able really to get the killer ball into the box too often in that first half. Despite having so much of the ball in the second half, they've definitely been more definitive. Really pulling the Eagles' defence about, creating opportunities down either flank, and as we saw from their second goal, through the middle as well. They certainly have asked lots of questions of the Eagles' defence, and as they've kept them occupied, it's kept the Eagles' attack in the process quiet. In the last 10 minutes and change, the Eagles' offence is going to need to get very noisy if they want to first find themselves an equaliser and potentially a winner. Because right now they are trailing FCC Carolinas here in Monroe, North Carolina, by a score of 2-1. Great battling again from both teams in the middle of the park. I mentioned the expansiveness of FCC with their Youth Academy and their USLW program, as well, of course, as their USL2 program that we're seeing here this evening. Charlotte Eagles also part of a network of clubs Actually affiliated with clubs in a few different states. Most notably, I suppose, they have a sister club in USL 2 Southern California Seahorses, who play in the Southwest Division. So that's pretty neat. Fairly rare as well. You oftentimes see feeder associations where a USL team might be associated with an MLS team or perhaps even part of the MLS team. It's not often you see fellowship across the same division. But the Charlotte Eagles and the Southern California Seahorses are siblings, essentially. Pretty neat. Seahorses not faring quite as well in the Southwest Division as the Eagles are in the South Atlantic. It's the Eagles at the top of the table, Seahorses around the middle of the pack for right now. Eagles pressing high and with numbers. Oh, wonderful work from FCC. Again, composure on the ball. Just a doggedness and determination to shake off their marker and turn defense into attack. I'm not going to say FCC looked like a different beast this second half because they played well in the first half, but they definitely have upped the ante. They had shifted gears. To be quite frank, the Eagles have struggled to stay with them. In fact, I go so far as to say that despite FCC's possession stats in the first half, the Eagles look the more threatening of the two teams. Can't say that in the second half. FCC have by and large dominated. And now they have a dangerous free kick, lofting out to the left wing, flicking it back into the middle. Not able to connect with a teammate, and now the Eagles are going to look to at least clear, if not break away, and it is just a clearance, leading to an FCC throw. Good strong defending from the Eagles, but it looks like an arm may have come out. Did the referee spot something there? If he did, it could lead to a penalty. A little wrestling going on. Well, if it was an arm, I think it was simply wayward. There wasn't any malice in that. It didn't look like an arm came back intentionally. It may have just been as the two players tumbled. The FCC player caught something in the face, requiring attention at least. Wouldn't like to see a penalty kick, honestly, here. The referee hasn't given one, but I wouldn't like to see one. This game is so finely balanced. I just like to see it played out. So we have 7 minutes and change. The change being whatever the referee determines in injury time. Still to go in this tightly contested South Atlantic Division USL 2 contest between these North Carolina rivals. The Eagles really struggling to build any momentum. FCC not allowing them to have possession for any period of time. They do at least win themselves a free kick here, though. Well, the referee had indicated it was an Eagles free kick. Evidently, it was a Carolina's free kick. We've certainly done a better job of maintaining possession in this second half. Again, one of a number of things that FCC have done a better job of this half, all of which has contributed to them taking the lead. The Eagles' best hope for getting something out of this game might be one of those pacey counterattacks that they were springing in the first half. But I think FCC have rather gotten wise to those. They do seem to be sitting a little deeper, particularly when they lose possession. Players nearest the ball are certainly pressing high, but those below them aren't pressing to create gaps. They're just dropping that little bit deeper. And that way, if the Eagles are able to break through that first press, they've got the whole of the FCC team waiting for them. That first half, it felt like FCC were pressing up pretty high to a man, and that was creating a lot of space in behind their back line. But FCC seemed to have figured that out this second half, largely negating offensive threat from the Eagles, not entirely. I certainly wouldn't bet against this high-scoring Eagles team to find something late on. But FCC still may have another goal in their locker. The Eagles now looking to break. And here you can see a good example of it. 5, 6 FCC players back. Very, very quickly. Collapsing that space and making it incredibly difficult for the Eagles to break on a counter. Good work from FCC. Great discipline. Straightforward ball. Back to McCallion. Nice ball down the right-hand side. Good pace again. And this is one thing that the Eagles do have. That's a weapon that it's very hard to negate, and that's just blistering natural pace. No end product, though, on that occasion. FCC can breathe a sigh of relief, but the Eagles have a couple of players who, when they turn it on, they set the pulse racing. And they probably set FCC defenders into panic mode. It only takes a second to score a goal. And we still have quite a few of those left to play. A little over 3 minutes plus stoppage. FCC desperate to hold on to this lead. Secure a home win. Take them level on points with North Carolina Fusion and Charlotte Eagles. The Eagles hoping to get something out of today's game to put the pressure on Fusion. Oh, lovely turn from the Eagles there. Now they do have numbers forward here. But they're not going to find them like that. Great composed defending from FCC, although the ball out, not the best, and the Eagles back in possession again. Doing a nice job themselves now of stretching the game, and here's that pace I was talking about earlier. Basin not able to get the ball put out of his feet on that occasion. 2 minutes to stoppage still to go. FCC with a narrow 2-1 lead over neighbouring Charlotte Eagles. Long ball from FCC, looking to try and find Larson. I was going to say, I thought perhaps Larson had taken a blow to the head then, but he didn't. He stood it up. He has the ball again, and he goes down, and a tackle. Referee not interested. Could have been a free kick in a dangerous position. Instead, the Eagles now looking to break. This could be the counter. It gets them back into the game. It's the ball over the top. McCallion comes, then he steps back. Great defending from FCC. Assuming the referee believes that to be a clean tackle, and he does. Goodness gracious, talk about last-ditch defending. When you slide like that, you have to get it right. You can take the man a little after you've connected with the ball, but you have to make contact with the ball first. And as the FCC defender was pointing out to the referee, I got ball, I got all ball. The referee agreed. Wonderful last-ditch tackle. That could be a victory saver. As an offensive midfielder myself, A really good tackle gets me just as excited as a really good goal. It's hard for me to hide that on a commentary. And that was one of the best tackles we've seen this entire game, particularly so late on. Had that not been made to perfection, it could have led to a chance directly on goal, one-on-one with McCallion, or if it was mistimed, it perhaps could have even led to a penalty kick. Anyway, by the by, FCC still lead 2-1 as we head now up to the full 90. Heading into time by referee's discretion. What injury time is he going to add here? Surely can't be more than a minute or two. FCC still hanging on. The Eagles trying to find a way into this game to at least rescue a point. Again, breaking quickly, but again, FCC collapsing quickly, getting numbers back behind the ball. This really has been a heck of a match. Hotly contested, high tempo, and quality technique, culminating in 3 fantastic goals. A game that really could have gone either way. I mentioned earlier, I had draw written all over it, and then revised my opinion and said, you know what, we're going to have a winner. And right now, we do. A great takedown though. Game's not over yet, but wonderful defending again. We actually have it looks like a corner. Look, perhaps it was the throw, but nope, the referee has indicated it's a corner. Heart in the mouths time for FCC fans. Charlotte Eagles perhaps with the last opportunity of the game. Ball finds its way to the back post, almost turned into something serious. It's going to turn into a corner. Could have been a lot more serious than that. I think the connection was made, yes, by one of the Eagles strikers. Did it strike the bottom of the post? It looked like perhaps it did. McCallion jumped and spread himself, tried to make himself as big as possible. I mean, the fact it's a corner suggests that he got something on the ball. Whether it struck the post or not, it looks like McCallion did his job, and he may have to do it again as another Eagles corner goes in. FCC with some desperate defending. And now it'll go out for an Eagle throw, and anxious to get on the ball, quite obviously. Over 2 minutes now beyond the 90. Surely can't be much left. But a long throw here could cause panic. It is a long throw. McCallion's nowhere near it. He's flicked over. McCallion gets back onto it. Did he carry it over the line? The referee's indicating that he did. Talk about last minute drama. Long throw into the box. McCallion nowhere near it initially. Pinged off, I'm not quite sure who. I don't know if it was an FCC defender or an Eagles striker. It hasn't got directed on goal. McCallion got his hands on it, but he was certainly well over the line. It came off an SEC defender. You can see McCallion there. Hole of the ball has to be over the hole of the line. And without freezing the shot, I think it's hard to argue with the hole of the ball not being over the hole of the line. It looked like it was to me. The referee, no hesitation. No VAR, of course, at this level, but the referee very quickly pointed to the centre spot, and the Eagles rescue at least a point, and now they're on the attack trying to find something at the death. Oh, not able to gather the ball up. This is breathless stuff in the last few seconds, and again another opportunity. Good defending from FCC. Carballo looking to try and get the shot off. He opened the scoring, he looked like he might close it too, before he got shut down by 2 FCC defenders. Where has this come from the Eagles? They have burst into life in the last 3 or 4 minutes. Nice flick into the middle. Good defending from FCC. I'm not sure where the 4 minutes has come from, but the clock keeps ticking here. I don't remember much in the way of injuries. There was, I think, a stoppage, a couple of stoppages, but they didn't seem that lengthy, and yet here we are, now into the 5th minute. Over regulation, the Eagles have already clawed back One goal. Can they get another? Good defending from FCC. Going back to that equalising goal, gosh, you have to feel for McCallion. He's had an absolutely outstanding game. He didn't do anything wrong there. I mean, he got his hands on the ball and momentum just carried him back into the goal, but I feel bad for him. I feel bad for FCC as well, who have been the dominant force in this second half. But when you're playing a team like the Eagles, who have as potent as a defense as they do, offense as they do, keeping them to just the one goal was always going to be a big ask. And now here we are in the 96th minute, and we have another Eagles corner. This one flying all the way through the FCC defence. Surely that must be it. And it is. FCC players go down. This must feel like a defeat to them. Eagle players not looking particularly jubilant, probably more relieved than anything. As the game finishes 2-2. Goodness gracious, I think I almost ran out of breath myself in the last 5 or 6 minutes there. What a fantastic competition.
Thank you for attending tonight's match. Please visit FC
What a great example of the quality that exists in USL 2.
Come meet the team and get photos and autographs at the tables in the entrance.
The Eagles taking the lead on the 21st minute through Caballo. Before FCC equalised in the 35th minute through Larson. They then took the lead in the 72nd minute. And it looked like they had done enough after their superb second half showing to secure all 3 points. But the Eagles had other ideas. Snatching defeat. A draw out of the jaws of defeat in injury time. So our production team running us through some of the best examples in the first half of attacking opportunity. It's actually the first goal from the Eagles. Very well worked. And again, despite FCC's possession stats in that first half, you'd have to say the Eagles look more threatening of the two teams. FCC certainly had their moments. But Eagles looking good for their 1-0 lead. SEC did ring the crossbar, as we saw there, before finally opening the scoring. Taking us into halftime, 1-1. In the second half, the Eagles having a couple of sights on goal, but FCC certainly being the more dominant of the two teams. Again, a really well-worked goal here, putting them into the lead. And that was just 20 minutes to go in regulation, and they really didn't look to be under any danger. The Eagles were struggling to put anything together offensively. And then in stoppage time, we had this craziness. Corner after corner, and eventually the referee decided that ball did find its way over the line, despite the best efforts of McCallion in the FCC goal. Heartbreak for FC Carolinas. Relief for Charlotte Eagles. Again, a wonderful example of USL League 2. These North Carolina rivals giving us a game to absolutely enjoy. What a wonderful, wonderful match. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. I've been your commentator, Mark Turner. Look forward to catching you on the next USL 2 game. Good night.